Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Concord Athletics Senior Spotlight. We have reached lucky number 13 in terms of episodes for the fall 2020 semester. My name is Wes McKinney, and joining us today is football defensive back Cam Fannon. Cam, so great you could stop by and join us today, and people could get to know you a little bit.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so as we normally do here on this spotlight, we'd like to start out just getting to know the athlete's background, where they came from, how they got to Concord. You grew up in Southwest Virginia, Big Stone Gap, not too far from the Kentucky border. And you also grew up in the backyard of UVA Wise, a fellow Division II program, used to be in the Mountain East Conference. So walk me through the recruitment, if you could, whenever you was being recruited by Concord, and who else was in the mix, and why'd you want to come to Concord and maybe not UVA Wise because it was so close for you?
Well, I was, of course, Big Stone Gap's a big football community, and well, Concord. I didn't know much about Concord at first, but then I have a good friend, Austin Dotson. He used to play for Clintwood back in the day, and he came to Concord, and him and Coach Price are good friends, and he was an awesome linebacker for Clintwood and also Concord. UVA Wise was in the recruitment process of coming to games, and also Emory and Henry has reached out. But when I came to visit Concord, I felt like this is the place for me. I was coming off my senior year with a shoulder injury, and I didn't know if I was going to get to play anywhere because of my shoulder injury. And God just opened the door with Austin Dotson and Coach Price, and Coach Price took a chance on me, and I'm very thankful for him. And here I am. I felt like it was a good community, and it's tough here, and that's what I fit into. We're all tough on the mountain.
Yeah, and I want to go back and talk about your high school days. You said it's a football crazed area there at Big Stone Gap and the surrounding areas. I know that Union has had a lot of success. They're probably going to have an NFL tight end here in the not too future with the is it Mitchell, right? James Mitchell, right?
Yes, sir. James Mitchell.
Yeah, playing at Virginia Tech. So I mean, you guys not only have successful teams there, but you also just produce a lot of good talent. So if you could, Cam, just kind of give us an inside look of what your high school days was like, and then we're going to really talk about your college career as well.
Well, a lot of our credit goes to our coach, Coach Turner, there at Union High School. He's a great coach, and there we focus on family, and it's pretty similar to here. We practice harder than anybody else in the area, and of course you mentioned James Mitchell. He's a great player. He's one of the best players that I've ever played with. He's the number one tight end in the nation right now, and props to him. But the games there at Union have crazy atmosphere, much like a college game.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's a crazy football town, and there's not much that goes on besides football.
So let's jump into your college days here. You get to Concord, and your freshman year, which I'd kind of forgotten about this till I was preparing for this interview, you bounce back and forth between the offensive and the defensive side of the football, and I can't remember if you were recruited as an offensive player or a defensive player, and I should have looked it up, but what was it like bouncing back and forth between the two sides of the ball, and then how did you finally settle in to being a defensive back?
Well, first off, I got recruited as a defensive back, and it was a couple of our senior running backs had a little injuries, Jamal Petty and Nick Lofton, and they knew that I could switch over without really a problem. I could pick up our offense just like that because they knew I was pretty smart when it came to football and in school, but it was a big adjustment trying to switch back and forth. But I think, and the coaches found out that I'm a defensive player. I love to hit. I love to come down, make tackles, especially as a safety. I love to run the alley. I try to be the most physical player on the field when it comes down to it.
Before we talk about your defensive play, you kind of earned your keep playing special teams, especially as a freshman and on into your sophomore year. So if you could, Cam, just kind of take us inside the preparation, I guess, for special teams play. It's a unique set of skills you have to be a special teamer. And then also in your career back in 2018, you recover a botch snap against West Liberty in the end zone for a touchdown. So if you could, take us through that play after you talk about a little bit about special teams.
Oh, well, special teams here are big. The special teams can win or lose you a game. So they want to put people out there that they can trust, that will give their best effort and go 100% all the time. And when I came in, they knew I could fly around. They knew I would go down, give all my effort, and they knew I could hit. Funny story: the first day of contact, I hit one of the offensive players, and I gave him a concussion. I didn't mean to, but that got Coach Price fired up. And I'm not for sure what their plans were, whether to redshirt me or to play me on the special teams. But I think it was from that day that they knew I could hit. They knew I was a player that could that they can count on. But going back to that West Liberty game, it was one of the highlights of my college career. The atmosphere was great. I just came off the edge like I was supposed to do, and going to block the punt. But then it was a bad snap. Someone else got a hand on it. I saw the ball laying in the end zone, and God was like, "It's your time." And so I was just blessed to have that opportunity. I was just I played hard, but I was in the right place at the right time.
You talk about special teams winning games or losing games. In that particular instance against West Liberty, not only do you recover a fumble in the end zone, but Shadler Shepard had a big punt return in that game as well that really kind of continued to shift the momentum in your guys' favor. But Cam, I want to transition back to the defense now. And you talk about how at Union you guys practice harder than everybody. You guys have that blue-collar mentality where you just try to work harder than everybody. So what was it like? What was the work ethic like that you had to put in to continue to move up the depth chart from special teams guy to back up at safety, and then last year you got to start a few games?
Well, I'm always a hard worker. I wish in high school I would have started earlier. I didn't start lifting real seriously until my sophomore or junior year, but that didn't. I've always worked hard on the field, worked hard off the field also. But God just blesses me because I try to I work hard like in the classroom and on the field, and like if you put in your time or whatever, you get blessed back. And all the glories to God when I say I moved up the depth chart and got to start a few games. I just worked my tail off on the field, and it's great coming from because I came in with Tywan Pierce, and he's a great wide receiver, and I try to practice with him at practice much as possible because he has one of the best footwork of anybody that I know, and he's just a hard receiver to guard.
Talk to me here, Cam, about becoming a leader on this Concord defense. You've played in 27 career games now over a 3-year time span, which it ranks up there in terms of games played with some of the other guys on the defense like Dwayne Porterfield, Jonathan Roebuck there, right around that 30-game mark in their career, if not over. So now that you're a senior, how are you becoming more of a leader for this Concord team?
I've led by more of an example than I have like verbally, but now that the coaches asked me to step up and be that leader and be a more verbal leader, so that's what I've been trying to do this year. I've the safeties, the quarterback of the defense, so I have to make calls. I have to be verbal. I got to get everybody on the same page, and on the field that's fine, but I also have to constructive criticism too, like in the weight room, doing all your reps, finishing through the line when we're at practice, and I just try to be someone that everybody looks up to, whether it be a freshman or other seniors in my class.
Last thing here for you, Cam, and we'll let you go. When you look back here 5, 10, 15 years, how many ever years it may be, what's going to be a memory of Concord you're going to carry with you over that time?
Well, just the friends that I've in the brotherhood that I've been a part of. Of course, I'm gonna miss playing the game and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, I'm gonna miss my teammates. I'm gonna miss the coaches, because the coaches have been a big part of me, big part of my career. They've taken care of me. Of course, we went through a coaching changes and stuff like that, but the new coaches are taking care of us just like we would be their recruits. And of course, Max Lilly, he's still on the staff. He takes great care of me. I look up to him and ask him for anything, and he knows I would do the same for him if he needed anything from me.
All right, Cam, we thank you so much for your time today, and I just appreciate just all the passion you've had here today, and we look forward to you and the rest of the Mountain Lions being out on the football field playing games here in the very near future, hopefully. So thank you so much, Cam.
Thank you.
Once again, Cam Fannon on the 13th episode for the fall 2020 semester of the Concord Athletics Senior Spotlight.